You realize that most people don't fail because they are weak. Most people fail because they fall in love with the results, but they don't fall in love with the process. And I realized this the hard way because growing up, I thought that life was all about go to school, get good grades, work hard, and then at the end of everything, well, become a doctor. And I learned an uncomfortable truth that actually most of life is about the process and it's not about the destination, because all of us know that when we were in school, we were taught preparing for the exam, preparing for end of semester, preparing for the final exam was always kind of the end. Like we were always working to a certain destination. But I've learned that since one of the biggest principles to success is consistency, that most of us treat success journey not as a journey but as a place to reach. So in this video, I'm breaking down the secrets of staying consistent, but they're not actually secrets. You could be knowing them, but I'm pouring my personal journey, my personal story of how I've been able to be consistent in reading, in exercising, and in everything that I'm doing. So the first part, knowing the fact that the whole life is about the process. Take an example of education. Education as a journey and graduation as the destination. That most of life follows the same trait. That you spend 4 or 5 years in medical school, and your graduation will just take maybe 24 hours if it is long. So you be in something for 5 years, and the end of it takes just maybe 6 hours. So what's the point? So you have to be able to fall in love with the process because it's the biggest part of the whole thing. The second part is motivation visits, but consistency or systems stay, which means that you have to be able to act and then feel motivated, not feel motivated and then act. I realized it the hard way that most of the times I feel like I don't want to practice, I feel like I don't want to read, but the moment I force myself and I find myself reading and I feel motivated to do it more. So you have to be able to overcome that natural inertia before you get into the momentum. And number three, you have to be able to fall in love with the doing, the becoming, because most of life's journey, most of the success journey is about you becoming a better version of yourself. You becoming that person that is able to maybe to go for 20 push-ups, yet you are doing maybe 10. That person who is able to do 50, yet you are able to do only 30. You enjoy the progress. You have to enjoy that part where you feel you are better than the person you were yesterday. And number four is that you tend to realize that progress is usually invincible until you measure it at a time scale of, let's say, maybe 4 months, 5 months. For example, it's hard to realize that maybe you've become more intelligent because you've been reading for the past 4 months, or you've added in muscle because you've been lifting weights. It's after 4 or 5 years or months or a big period of time that someone who had not been seeing you says, oh, you've added weight, or you've made some good muscle, or you've done this and that. That's what happens. So you have to fall in love with the fact that progress is invincible. Well, if you're that person that has been struggling with consistency or with laziness, the truth is most of us are going through, most of us have found that we always struggle just to become better than we were yesterday. That the best thing that you can do is to try to become a better version of who you were yesterday. If you want to make 100 steps on your first day, it might be overwhelming. But if you take every day a step better than you did yesterday, then you enjoy the journey and you become a better person.